what I wanted to get you to share, because this is what we talked about, giving other men the permission to say, hey, not okay, don't know what to do. But when, probably like when you see me, this guy's last name is Fitz, he looks like he does. What the fuck does he know about where I'm at? What I wanted you to share with some of the guys is just the specifics about what was your coping mechanisms to get through the day, to get through the week, and what's even harder is that you're not telling anyone.
Yeah, so I got to a point where it was the lowest point. My marriage was breaking down. My relationship with my kids, it was shady at best. I was angry all the time. Guys I was working with, they'd started picking up on it as well. They knew that I was going through some stuff. I just kept taking on more work, providing for my family, doing the thing that men do. And then of an afternoon, because I was stressed through the day, I was physically tired from doing huge hours. And then on the way home, I'd just pull into the bottle-o every afternoon, and I'd start off with a 6-pack of beers.
Whether it's a marathon, a relationship, a business, whatever it is, as long as you're alive, as long as there's time on the clock, anything can happen. And as Nicole said to me, if you can love her unconditionally or love yourself unconditionally, I'm not just talking about her, I'm talking to you guys and your problems. If you can love the situation unconditionally, whatever is meant to happen will happen. Nothing will pass you that's not meant to pass you if you stay in the right frame of mind. Day and age, but wasn't that long ago. You weren't always the way you are, were you?
No.
Now, without going into too much detail, because I know this isn't easy for all the guys in the DFP and just most men in general, but where were you at before this place?
I wasn't able to see my kids. Wasn't going to work properly. When I was drunk or hungover. I was drinking all the time, doing drugs.
Yeah.
I just wasn't living my life very well. Trying to make myself.
Yeah, just coping mechanisms 101 for Australian men.
And so I just started using alcohol. Just at first, it was just to.
It's effective.
Yeah, well, it worked at first, you know.
Yeah, it always does.
Well, I thought it did, and I got to a point where I was doing it literally just to numb my brain and stop from thinking and
take the edge off.
Yeah, and just so that I could go to sleep at night, and so that I could just, shut down for the night, and then, the phone.
And the reason why I did that, at the risk of losing her, is that if I stayed in this mindset much longer, I was going to break. Either fuck my business up, and I have a lot of other things going on here, or snap at her, or just lose the man that I've become, who I kind of like right now. And this is a hard lesson for me to get across to you, because you only ever experience it unless you go through it. There is no business, no job, no person, no amount of money that's worth losing you. You've been in some pretty dark places in your time, Shane, so have I. Like, there's no amount of money that... If someone said to me, I'll give you $10 million, but you're going to go back to that place for a year, I'd go, no fucking way. You smile a lot more. In fact, I don't even think you used to smile back in the day.
I didn't.
Yeah, crazy, huh?
Yeah.
A life without smiling, a life without your kids, and a life with no opportunity. I mean, I was there myself, apart from the kids thing, so, man, I get it. There really is no way out, is there? Or at least that's what it feels like.
That's what it feels like, but there is if you reach out and get some help. like when I reached out and joined, and you didn't let me quit. So
luckily, I only had to do it once, but I mean, the rest is history.
yeah.
What would you say to men? Because I know, particularly in your circumstance, reaching out to someone like me or just committing to anything, it's fucking hard and you're scared and you don't know what to do. And I apologize, Sophie, about my terrible language. I'm a bad man. But what can you tell someone who's sitting there with his kids? He's thinking about work. He's thinking about how he's going to provide for his kids. He's thinking about how unhappy he is, but he doesn't want to drink or blast through serious drugs. What's something that you can tell him? What's something that you would suggest he does? And like I always say, whether it's a DFP or any kind of change, it's never easy, but neither is where you are now. What's something that you can say?
Just don't be ashamed to try and reach out and ask for help.
I was in a work car. I was literally just gonna just roll off the side of the highway and just into a big tree. And at my lowest point, I remember sitting there and I was on my way home and I was coming through the city and I pulled into Dan Murphy's like I always did. And when I walked out, I just kind of sat there for a bit and I just cracked one can. And then, and it was just a bloody JD double. And I thought to myself, oh, actually, if I drink this, there'll be blood alcohol levels. Don't know if my insurance will pay out. And I actually put it back in the cup holder. And I was like, well, if this is it, like if, I'm at that point, this is it. And I put the car into reverse and then I stopped again and I thought, nah, like this is not it. And I sculled 2 of them cans right there and then just drove straight home. And that was the lowest point where I was minutes away. And the reason I sculled those drinks was because I knew that if that was 4 standard drinks,
Took the option off the table.
That's it, yeah. Like there was just, I still don't know what it was that made me think, nah, it's not on anymore, that's it, like I can't do this now.
Anything. I'm sharing this with you to help you. I understand how hard life can be. I've lived a very hard life. But that's how I can also sit here and say to you, even after all that, take responsibility of who you are, where you're at, and what you're going to do. It's really that simple. Incredibly hard. But if I asked you right now, is things hard? Do you like life the way that it is? Do you like who you are right now? You afraid of losing something? The decision to change is instant. You can change right now. But doing the work, becoming the man you need to be, correcting the errors, stepping up into pain and fear and responsibility, especially when you don't want to. You'll live a life that you never would have thought possible. You'll experience things and do things you never thought possible. When someone asks you for advice in 4 years, you'll have something to say instead of just regrets.
Do what you can, where you are, with what you have. That's it.